Hello learners, in today's class lecture, hello learners, in today's class we'll discuss the problems on design for SEER. So you are advised to see the theory behind design for SEER as discussed in earlier lecture and uploaded in YouTube. Now in the design for SEER, we'll discuss three type of problem. As you have seen, this nominal shear stress is less than tau c. Nominal shear stress can be more than tau b, can be greater than tau c, and there will be used only vertical stirrups, or sometimes we'll use vertical stirrups and bent top bars. Also, we'll discuss the minimum shear reinforcement required in case of this shear design, and then finalize the spacing of these stirrups. And also we have discussed earlier, generally in the beams we use 2-legged 8 mm 5 stirrups, but if required you can go for the 4-legged 8-legged stirrups. The bar size can be also be 10 mm and 12 mm. Now let us go to the first problem. In the first problem we have a rectangular beam of section 250 millimeter width. So width is given 250, depth is 450, effective depth is given. As the effective depth is given here, you don't calculate further effective depth. If overall depth will be given, then you have to calculate effective depth. That is your D effective is equal to overall depth minus cover reinforcement minus half of the diameter of the rod. That is the top compression fiber to the center of the main reinforcement. Now reinforcement is given 4 bars of 16 mm diameter bars. So you can find the area of steel from this data, that the area of steel is equal to number of bars into area of the single bar. So single bar area will be pi by 4 into 16 square into 4. That will be area of the steel. Then calculate the shear reinforcement required by limit state of design, because we are not doing the working stress method of design, which is nowadays obsolete. All the designs are being done nowadays by limit state method of design to resist shear force of 60 kilonewton at service state. It is not given limit state shear. If it is giving working state, service state, then you have to multiply with 1.5 with this value to find out the limit state shear. The VU is your ultimate shear. So this is equal to 1.5 times, that is the partial factor of safety for the load. 1.5 times this service state load. If it is given at limit state or at ultimate shear, or it is given the design shear, then you don't multiply 1.5. If it is given service state or simple shear force, then you have to multiply 1.5 to find out the ultimate shear. Consider concrete grade is given M20 grade and grade of steel is given Fe415. So with this data, we'll start this design procedure. Now first write down what are the data given and accordingly find out this value. Like width of beam, B is given, effective depth small d is given, FCK is given, Fy is given, then AST, as I've told, calculate the AST value, then ultimate shear. So these the data initially write down the first step. What are the data given? If any of the data is missing, then in design you can assume the data. Suppose the grade of steel is not given, grade of concrete is not given, width of this support is not given, that you can assume some values. Now come to the first step. As we have seen in the discussed in this design shear concepts, that first calculate the nominal shear stress tau b. So it is given clause number 40.1. You again open your page number 72 of your code and clause number 40.1, where this nominal shear stress formula is given VU by VD. We have already calculated VU, B and D, and VU should be unit conscious. It should be in Newton, because these all the values checked for Newton per millimeter square. If it is a kilonewton or kg or a ton, Whatever the data is given in VU, you have to convert the data into the unit Newton. So you know 1 ton is equal to 10 kilonewton, 1 kilonewton is equal to 1000 Newton. So accordingly you have to change the data and write down. So tau b is found 0.8. Okay. Now this, as we have also seen, tau b shall be less than the tau c maximum. Table number 20. You can see in your page number 73, in table number 20, table number 19 for the tau c to find out the permissible shear stress in concrete. Now the maximum value is given table number 20. So for M20 grade of concrete, the tau c maximum from that table find 2.8 Newton per millimeter square. So that is a fast check. The check you have done, the tau b, you now find tau b is less than tau c maximum. That is the fast check. If it is not, if tau b is not less than tau c maximum or tau b greater than tau c maximum, then you have to redesign. Redesign means you have to change the section. You cannot change the load. You cannot change the span. So you have to change this cross section. Either you increase the depth or increase the width or increase the both, and accordingly you have to find till the tau b is less than tau c maximum. Now, once you find tau b and check for tau c maximum, the next step is to find out the tau c, the permissible shear stress in concrete, which depends on the percentage of steel. Okay. So now you find out PT, what is percent of steel? We have discussed 100 AST by BD. AST the area of the steel provided. Area of steel provided here is 804.28, and B and D is already given. So you can find the percent of steel is given 0.715. Now for this percent of steel and for M20 grade of concrete, please look into the table number 19. Table number 19 is given page number 73 in your IS 456. So go to table 19 and then now we'll see this value is 0.715. So it lies between 0.5 and 0.75. Okay, 0.5 and 0.75. So corresponding to M20, find out, write down what is the tau c value for 0.5, the tau c value for 0.75, and we need here in between for 0.715 what is the value of this shear stress at this location. Okay. So as we have discussed earlier, it should be linear interpolation. So linear interpolation already explained earlier. So the linear interpolation is being done, and for this value 0.715, the value is obtained 0.549 Newton per millimeter square. Now what is tau b? Tau b is found to be 0.8. Tau c found to be 0.549. That means tau b is greater than tau c. If tau b is greater than tau c, then shear reinforcement is required. If tau b is less than tau c, no shear reinforcement required. However, you have to provide a minimum shear throughout the length of the beam. Clear? So first check is tau b shall be less than tau c max. Then check whether tau b is greater than tau c or tau b is less than tau c. If tau b is less than tau c, no shear design is required, and if it is more than that, then shear reinforcement is required. You can see clause number 40.4 here. If no shear design required when tau b less than tau c, then minimum shear is to be given, as we have discussed earlier, or we will discuss so henceforth after this. Now if tau b is greater than tau c, then what is your design shear force? Design shear force is equal to Vu minus tau c Bd. And already we have also seen that it is equal to nothing, tau b minus tau c into Bd. So just put the values tau b, tau c, b and d and find the force. So this 282375 Newton is the design shear. Now once you find the design shear force, then you find the spacings. Now you have to decide here, you have to only provide the vertical stirrups or you have to give vertical stirrups. So first you have to do some bar bend up. In this present case, we are providing only vertical stirrups. If we are providing only vertical stirrups, then the formula is given again in page number 73, that your VUS is equal to 0.87 Fy ASB dy SB. So I put the formula and then get your solution. So by putting this, now here ASB is the area of this stirrups, area of the stirrups, and we are using two-legged 8.5. So generally you are using two-legged 8.5, but this data is not given. This you have to assume whether you are using two-legged, one-legged, four-legged, size of bar 8 mm, 10 mm, what you are using, that you have to consider here or take here. So for two-legged, as you have told, for one leg the area is pi by 4 into 5 square. So 2 means 2 will multiply these. 4-legged means multiply by 4. 6-leg means multiply by 6. 8-leg means multiply by 8. Okay. So this is the value of ASB. So now from all the data you find the value of spacing. Now putting all values, spacing comes out 578.4. Okay. So this spacing come from the design shear criteria, but then you have to check. It should not be more than the maximum spacing. It should be not be less than the minimum shear reinforcement spacing. So there are two criteria: minimum shear reinforcement spacing, maximum shear reinforcement spacing. Let us check both. Now you see minimum shear reinforcement, clause number 26.5.1.6. We have discussed earlier clause number 26.5.1.6. Okay, you can go to that page number maybe 48 something. So now in that the formula is given. What is given in this clause? That ASB by BSB shall be greater than 0.4.87 FY. So this is the formula. So you have to calculate SB. ASB is known, 2-legged 8 mm bars. B is known, FY is known. So calculate spacing. So spacing value come 362. So 362.9 comes from the minimum shear criteria. And from that criteria, design criteria, 500 something is coming the value, 578.4. Okay. And third criteria is maximum spacing. Maximum spacing is 0.75 D for vertical stirrups. So D is the effective depth. This is coming 337.5. But in no case, it should be greater than 300 millimeter. So this is also given in code. Wherever you find the minimum shear reinforcement spacing, the clause number 26.5.1.6. Prior to this, you can see this maximum spacing criteria. So maximum spacing is 0.75 D. So D. So now what are the data you have? 337.5, 300 millimeter, 578, 362. But in no case it should be greater than 300. The maximum value can be 300. So we can provide 8 mm 5 300 throughout the section, because everywhere now this criteria satisfies that maximum spacing is 300, and all other spacings calculated from different consideration that are exceeding the value of 300. So provide 300 millimeter spacing throughout. Now how to draw this? Drawing the span is not given. If the span is given, you can draw the drawings of this. That means if you take the cross section of the longitudinal section like this, okay, let me draw this longitudinal section of this beam. Okay, so I am doing a continuous, other side will go like this way, and you have this main reinforcement is here. Okay, now there will be minimum 2 number of bars on the top, that will be holding bars to keep this here in reinforcement. These are called the holding bars. Holding bars means whenever to give your shear reinforcement, they will be held by these bars, holding bars. They don't take any design strength, or they don't give in moment of resistance. For the single reinforced section, they only keep these bars. Now what you got? You got this 300 2-legged 8 mm 300. So now you put like this one. So like this you go on putting these shear stirrups, okay, throughout the sections. So all the spacing you can write all the spacings, like from to here, then here to here, then all these spacings, all the spacings are, you can write down these. So this to this is 300, this to this 300. So you can write down this is 2-legged 8 mm, 2-legged 8.5, 2-legged 8.5. Sorry, it's just 8.5 at the rate 300 center to center. So that you can write out somewhere. So this is the shear stirrups. Now if you draw a cross section, how it look like? If you take the cross section of this beam, how it look like? It will take a cross section to look like this. Now, if you take a cross section at some point, you find out this is the beam cross section. Okay. Now you have the number of bars here, 4, 5, whatever the main bars. Okay. Now there will be 2 bars here, 2 bars here, here and here. Now this stirrup will go like this. Shear stirrups will go like this around all these bars. This stirrup will go like this way. Okay. So this is a 2 leg stirrup. So it will be 135 will hook here, and you will get 135 to hook here. So this is your 2 leg. The same thing. These 2 leg ATM stirrups are. This is also the same thing. So this is your B. This is your AST. The main bars is your AST. Okay, area of the steel, main reinforcement, and these 2 bars generally you provide 2 numbers of 12, 5 as the holding bars, and then this along this periphery you are finding. If you got a cross section here, if you take a cross section here XX, if you take a cross section at XX here, then you will find out this is the cross section at XX. Cross section at XX. Okay. You will find the section. And this is a longitudinal section. This is the cross section. So this is the shear reinforcement diagram or your shear design. So this is the same thing will be applicable to all kind of problems. Now discuss the second problem. In the second problem, what is given a single reinforcement RC beam of width similar type. Width is 300 mm, 300 and 450 effective. Again, effective depth is given 450 millimeter. UDL is given 60 kilonewton meter. It is subjected to an UDL, not given to this total load is not given. Total shear force. That the UDL is given. UDL means a span will given. On this span, this is the UDL. So if you know what the maximum shear force, WL by 2. So this is your loading. This is your L effective. L effective. So you can find out the shear force W. L effective by 2 multiplied by 1.5 is the partial load factor. Now, this UDL is inclusive of self weight. It should be very clear. It is inclusive self weight. If self weight is not included, then you have to calculate the self weight plus the live load. That will find the total load. Here it is given inclusive self weight. So self weight is in. Self weight means dead load of the beam. How to find the self weight of a beam? If you find the self weight, how to find? This is the B. This is the cross section overall depth. So what is the self weight? Self weight is equal to your self weight always. Self weight but dead load will be equal to your unit weight of RCC, that is 25 kilonewton per meter cube, into the cross section gross area B into D. So this will come in kilonewton per meter. This will come in kilonewton per meter. 25 kilonewton per meter cube is the unit weight of this RCC, and this is the gross area. You will find out this. So this is the dead load. Dead load plus live load will be the total load. As it is given your inclusive self weight, we are not going calculating all these things. So whenever it is giving not included, then you have to calculate this self weight and add with the live load. Effective span is given 5 meter. So it is provided with the 5 bars of 20 diameter. So area of the steel is given on tension side. Design shear considering width of support is given 300 millimeter. So M20 grade and AP415 grade. So sometimes you'll find out also in this problem we can be asked that the clear span is given. The clear span is given, width of support is given, and here effective depth is given. So how to find L effective? L effective span as per the Codal provision. You can see the effective span for clear is equal to clear span plus width of support. Okay, center of center support, or clear span plus D effective. Clear span plus effective depth, D effective, whichever is less. Between these two, whichever is less, that is called the effective span. Okay, so you can find L effective is equal to clear span plus width of the support, or center support. Center support means suppose you have a beam like this. Your beam like this is like this. Okay. and here you have a support, here you have a support. Okay, so half of this width of support, center to center will be taken as the effective span or clear span plus d effective, which will be less. Now let us go to the problem. Now you can see width of beam is given, effective depth is given. All the data like the previous problem, you find out all the data that is given, and then area of the steel 5 number bars, 5 by 420 square. Then design shear force. Design shear force is equal to this 1.5 WL by 2. As it is simple supported, the maximum shear force at the support will WL by 2. W is given, and 1.5 in not that is the partial load factor. So 1.5, that is 225 kilonewton. So converting to Newton. Now similarly, calculate tau V, VU by VD, it comes 1.67, which is less than 2.8 Newton per meter square. That is the maximum your shear force. Similarly, now like the last problem, we have to calculate the tau C. To calculate tau C, you have to find out percent of steel. Then it becomes 1.164. From the percent of steel, find out the tau C. So 1.164 means it will lie between 1 and 1.25. So 1 and 1.25, go to M20 grade of concrete, find out the value of tau C, and then do the linear interpolation to find out the value of tau C. Now see tau B, tau C. Tau B is what? This much. Tau C is this much. So tau B is less than tau B is greater than tau C. So shear design is required. So calculate your design shear, that is equal to tau B minus tau C to BD. Don't write all these things. This is for your explanation. You can directly write down that design shear is equal to tau B minus tau C into BD and calculate the value. It comes 136890. Then if you are using only vertical stirrups again here, we find out the stirrup spacing. Now what is the stirrup spacing? Calculate the stirrup spacing, which comes out to be using 2 legged 8 mm 5 bars. Similarly, we have done in the last problem. SV comes out to 190. Why I have discussed this problem? In the earlier case, you have found that the spacing was coming 500 something. Okay, so you have provided the spacing, that is the maximum 300 millimeter. It was coming more than 300. Now you see it is coming 119. So what we will do in that case? If the spacing comes less than the maximum spacing, now calculate from the minimum shear reinforcement criteria again the value of spacing as we have done the last problem. It becomes 302. Okay. Now the what is maximum spacing? Maximum spacing comes 337.5, but in no case it should be 300. So the minimum, you see the minimum spacing criteria is more than the maximum spacing. So you have to write the maximum spacing. Now if this value is 275, then you have to restrict it to 275. Now the minimum shear reinforcement spacing is coming more than this value, and this design shear spacing is coming less than this minimum and maximum value. So you have to take 190, less than 190. So you can go 110, 100 like that. Okay. Now what does it mean? That means in this problem you have to find out the region where you have to provide the minimum spacing. What you have to do now, we have explained also in the theory, if you refer the earlier YouTube lectures, that this is your tau V BD, and this is your tau C BD. Okay, tau V BD, tau C BD. So this value you have obtained this value obtained. Now you have, this is L by 2. At the center, this shear force is equal to 0 in case of simply supported beam subjected to UDL. Now you have to find out this region. In this portion, you have provide the spacing like this. The spacing shall be less than 190, but on the remaining portion, it should be the minimum spacing, minimum 300 to maximum 300. So in this region, it will be 300. In this portion, it will be less than 119. So calculate this value x. So if this value is x, okay, so you can take this value as, if you will take this is x, so this will be half L by 2 minus x. Okay, so now he has taken this is equal to x. So this distance will be L by 2 minus x. Okay, Then calculate L by 2 minus x here, 2.5 minus x. So at 2.5 it is, the value is 225. At 2.5 minus x, find out the value, your designs here. So accordingly you can find out the value of this x. So this distance, up to this distance you provide 2 leg 110, and the remaining portion provide 2 leg 275 meters and 2 centimeters. I think there is a mistake here. Let me check. There's some calculation mistake maybe here. Actually, this is not 225 perhaps. What is the force we have obtained? Okay, this is design says 225, right? Okay, 225 kilonewton. What is tau b? Tau CBD. Tau CBD you have to calculate. So tau CBD will be equal to 0.653. The top tau CBD, but the value tau CBD you have to calculate. Tau CBD will be 0.653 into B into D, and that value is comes out to be here. Okay, there is a given this diagram is given here. This is 225. This is nothing. This is tau CBD. So check it. Please check. So this value is nothing. This is your tau C into B into D. So tau C is at the tau C value. We have obtained some tau C value. So that value put here, and then B into D. So that is the value of, this is in kilonewton. This is in kilonewton. This is also kilonewton. So this is the value of x. So now we can put similar triangle. This by this is equal to this by this. Now in this portion, we have to provide the 2-legged 110, and this portion 2-legged 300. Similarly on other side, up to this you will find out. In this is here x, provide 2-legged 110 millimeter center spacing of 8 mm bars, and in this region provide the 2-legged 300 millimeter center, because the maximum spacing is 300, and the from the minimum shear reinforcement criteria and from the maximum spacing it comes more than the value of the maximum value 300. In no case it should be more than 300 millimeter. So accordingly you have to fix the values, and then you can draw the detailing of the reinforcement. As we have also seen in the last class, that you have to provide this detailing. Detailing means you can provide this cross section like this, okay, and from here to here, that means we have got the distance of x is equal to 1.48. So this total is from the center 2.5. So up to this 1.5. So from this to this 1.45, 1.48. This distance you provide the spacing. The spacings will be less, 110 millimeter center. So provide this distance is 110. All are 110, and beyond this, these will be 300 center. So write it different way. This is coming 300 center. This value is 2.85 at the rate of 110 center. So write those things, and that will be the detailing of these reinforcements. Now the third problem we'll discuss on bent top bars. So one case we discuss this throughout the same spacing. The second case you find in the some region from the support you provide this required spacing, then the minimum spacing criteria, because in some portion tau b greater than tau c, some portion tau b is less than tau c. But in no case this spacing shall be more than 300 millimeter for the vertical bars, vertical stirrups. Now let us come to this question that's for bent top bars. Now in this problem, again all the data I am not going, all the data is given here, but here it is given that out of the 6 bars available, 3 bars are bent top. Out of 6 bars, out of which 3 bars bent up at 45 degree at a section 0.6 meter from support. So all the bars are not taken support, at 0.6 meter it has been bent up. The effective span is given. Calculate the resistance of bent up bars and additional shear reinforcement. That means you are provide so at 0.6 you have to provide both bent up bars and vertical stirrups. So both will be provided. So provide this thing. Now you have a you first write down the data, what the data is given. Now see all the data. B is given, D is given, FCK, AST, design shear force is given. It is written design shear force. Just write down ultimate shear. What is written here? Check it. It is ultimate shear. When given ultimate shear, limit state shear, design shear, don't multiply 1.5. That is your VU. So that is taken as VU here. You should be very clear on this. Otherwise, there will be mistakes. Now, now all the data you have been given the example. So now calculate your first tau b. Tau b is equal to again BYBD, which is coming 2.22 less than the 2.8 as per clause number 40.1. Now, if this is the tau b, what is the tau c max less than tau c maximum? Then calculate tau c. What the tau c value? Now, from the percentage of steel, calculate the tau c for M20 concrete with the linear interpolation. It comes 0.634. I'm not going detail because we have already discussed. So tau c is coming 0.634, tau b is coming 2.22, tau c maximum is 2.8. So this is less than that. It is okay. Design is safe. Don't change any cross section. Now tau b is greater than tau c, so you will need this shear design. What the shear design force? Calculate tau b minus tau c BD. So now this value 178650 Newton is your design shear. So for this, you have to design for shear. Now in this problem, you are not only vertical shear. If it is only vertical shear, then directly you have taken this VUS and calculate spacing. Now you have to provide bent of bars. You have to provide bent of bars which have been provided at distance 0.6 meter from the support. So you have to find the strength of bent of bars. What is the strength of bent of bars? Strength of bent of bars. Already we have seen on the page number 73, but the bent of bar strength calculate. Go to that page. But it is given bent strength of bent of bar is given 0.87 FY/ASB sin alpha. Alpha is given 45 degree bent. So sin 45 degree. Alpha is the angle of bent of with the axis. Now what is ASB? ASB the area of the bent of bars, not the stirrups. As I have already discussed on the theory part, this is the ASB. This is not the area of these stirrups. It is the area of the bar bent up at that cross section. So 3 bars have been bent up out of 6 bars. So 3 bars into pi by 416 square multiply by this 0.875 into sin alpha. This is the bent up bar resistance. So bent up bars can take this much of shear. Okay, this much of shear can be taken, but in the code it is written that the strength of the bent up bars is limited half the resistance of the shear force. Okay, so it is written where bent up bars are provided, their contribution towards shear resistance shall not be more than half of that of total shear reinforcement. So bent up bars cannot take more than the required shear to be carried by shear reinforcement. So now, so what is your value? The value is 15397 Newton. Okay. So your value comes out to be bent up bar resistance comes out to be 153971, but the shear resistance is design required for 178. So the bent up bars can maximum take half of this. So half of this 89.325. But this value is more than 89.35. So though so 50% taken by the bent up bars, 50% will taken by now this vertical stirrups in the present case, because though the strength of the bent up bars is 153 kilonewton, but their contribution toward the shear resistance is limited to 50% of the total shear design force. Total shear design force is 178 VUS. Your VUS is the total design shear we have calculated. That is tau B minus tau C into BD. So half of this maximum can be taken by the bent up bars, because the half of this is less than this strength of the bent up bars. So only 50%, that is 89.35 will be be taken by the mentor bars. For remaining 89.325, we have to provide the vertical stirrups. Now for this value of this shear resistance, find the spacing for vertical stirrups. So that we will do below this. So now come here, design of vertical stirrups up to 0.6. Up to 0.6 it is 89.325. After 0.6 you have to find again the shear force for design. Now again for this, providing 2-legged 8 mm 5 bars, find out spacing. So similarly find the spacing for vertical stirrups from the minimum spacing criteria, then maximum spacing criteria, and maximum is 300. So what is the value you are getting here? You are getting one from this criteria 182.86, from this design criteria, then from the minimum shear reinforcement criteria 362, then 337.5 is your maximum spacing, and no case it should more than 300. So because here 182, so we can provide this, that is 180 less than this 1.175, 180 as you like, you can provide that. Okay. So now from the support up to 0.6 meter, this is the design. Beyond 0.6 there is no mentor bar, where you have started the mentor bar from here. So after this there are only vertical stirrups. So what is the strength, what is the shear strength here, for which the shear to be designed vertical stirrup, that we have to find out. So next we'll see how to find out beyond 0.6, what is the value for beyond 0.6. Now come to this diagram. Now how to understand that 250 kilonewton is the shear at the support. At 0.6, what is this value to find out? Okay, and then what the tau CBD, because now this will be tau V here for this section. This is tau CBD. Beyond tau CBD, you can provide only minimum shear. Between these two center, you have to provide minimum shear. And once you have already designed for this portion 2-leg 175 central center. Now for this portion you have to design only vertical stirrups. Here there is the vertical stirrups plus mentor bars. Here only vertical stirrups, and here only vertical stirrups, that is minimum shear reinforcement, because tau V will be less than tau C after this point. Here is the tau C, that means beyond this point the tau C. Similar will be here. So this region, in this region you will provide only minimum shear criteria you have to take here. Minimum shear criteria, minimum shear enforcement, minimum shear. Now again here you will find this is a zone of 0.6 and this is the zone of the 0.62 tau C. So both sides will be the mirror of that. Now let us calculate those values. Once you calculate the values, then you can find this stirrup strength. Now find the value of x. Okay, x is taken here. So if you find x, then you can find by subtracting 0.6, you can find the value. So like earlier problem, x come to 1.098. So minus 0.6 means you will find out first find out at 0.6 means between 0.6 to 1.098 you have to provide only vertical stirrups. Now what is this shear force at 0.6? Shear force at 0.6 here. So that means you can calculate this. What is shear force here? This by this is equal to this by this. So you can calculate the value of shear force here. So if you find the shear, what the shear value is coming? It is coming 190 kilonewton. 190 kilonewton is the shear force. Okay, this is your VU at this point. Don't confuse. This value is the VU at 0.6 meter from support. At 0.6 meter from support. Now what is the design shear at 0.6? Again you have to do VU minus tau V minus tau CBD. So VU was 190. Okay, this is 190 minus tau CBD. So this is the design shear for which you calculate the spacing. The same formula again, but spacing is different. Using 2-leg stirrups, this come 137. Okay, so that means between 0.6 to support 2-leg 175 center. Between 0.6 to 1.068, it is should be either one below 137 means 130, 125, 120, whatever you want to give. It is given 125 center. Then the rest portion is the minimum shear. Minimum shear, what the value? Already you have calculated. Don't calculate number of times. You can go to this top. We have already calculated. We have calculated already. We have calculated what the values from the minimum shear criteria. Go through this. It was 362 and the max it is 337.5. It is 300. That means the minimum shear criteria you provide should be less than 300 millimeter. You can either put two-legged ATM 300, 275, 280, 290 as you like. In the present case, he has taken 275. So you can take any value below 300 because these values are more than 300. The maximum can be 300. So the in the minimum region portion, you can provide this value of 275. Here it is taken 275. Now accordingly, you have to draw the detailing. If you draw the detailing, how it will look like? Just like the earlier cases we have seen, this is just like this. I am drawing half part of this problem. So this is suppose this is a half. Next step is like that way. So you have this holding bar here. You have the main reinforcement here. Now at 0.6 meter, you have the bars have been bent up. So this is your 0.6. This distance is let be 0.6 or whatever value is given, and then up to this. So up to this point, it is 1.068, 1.098 or something. What we have found 1.068. Okay. Now between this portion to this portion to this portion, you provide only the stirrups at 125 millimeter center to center. You see number of bars will come here. But from here to here, it is 1.6 up to 0.175. So here to here, you will provide 175 millimeter center to center. Okay. So this will be 175 center to center. These 3-4 bars, what I will find out. Then from here to up to this, it is 100. This will be 125 center to center, and this part is 175 center to center, and the remaining here will find 275 center to center. The shear reinforcement in this portion will come as 285, the 275 center to center. I think it is understood. And if you take the cross sections, the cross section remains same, but the shear reinforcement will be different. In some in this cross sections, you find two-legged 125 center to center. In this portion, two-legged 8M5 175 center to center, and here two-legged 8M5 at the rate of 275 center to center. So if you take the cross sections are different. If you take section here, you will find different shear. You will find a cross section here, find different shear. If you find a section here, you will find different. And you see in this portion, 3 bars are bent up. So the number of bars here you will find in the cross section 3 number 16.5. Once you go beyond this, these will come as 6 numbers of 16.5, because 3 bars have been bent up at distance 0.6. So from support to up to 0.6, the number of main bars available is 3 numbers, and beyond it 6 numbers. So if you take a cross section here, you will find the bottom reinforcement there will be 6 bars, and here it will be 3 bars. So you should be very careful on this. So we discussed all the 3 kind of problems in this. We find all the 3 kind of problems here for the shear design. I hope you have understood all these things. Please refer the Kodak provision for design of the things. And for the detailing part, you can go for the that thing available SP34. If you go to SP34, then you can find out this. If you go to SP34, you'll find out the detailing of the reinforcement, and also you can refer SP16. There are special publication 16 and 34. One is design aids, one is the reinforcement detailing given SP34. You can refer that for detailing also. With this, this lecture is concluded, and have a nice day.